You're not stressed. You're not overworked. You're not anxious. Shit. You might not even actually have depression. Most of the time, it is that you are stuck in inaction. You're stuck and paralyzed and creating scenarios through your inaction. Action is this weird thing that cures most of these things between your ears. Most of those problems that are stuck in your head are all sorted out by the choice to take action, the choice to do something, to create movement. And that can be big or small. That can be when you have a negative thought. I got this one from a friend of mine, and it sucks, but it works really well. That every time you find yourself, you catch yourself with a negative thought, with something that's going to throw you back, that's going to pull you out of it, you just drop to the ground and you do push-ups. And at first, I thought it was like, do 10 push-ups, because it changes your state. It creates movement, it creates positive energy, it creates exertion, small release of dopamine, all those kinds of things. And he was like, nah, you want to fuck it up? You want to change how you react to the world? You do them till you can't. So you go to failure. Absolute fucking failure. And then you do that every single time that type of negative talk comes up. Every time that negative thought comes up. Every time you feel stuck or you're worried or you're anxious or you just fucking go until you can't. And across the day, you'll realize, A, how many negative thoughts that you are having, and B, how you want to really, really rapidly stop that, because it sucks nuts and you don't want to borrow that. It's a really good way to change your state, and this can be utilized for anything. If you wake up and you're feeling flat, or you're working on something and you're feeling flat, get up and do some movement. Get up and do some exercise. Get up and change the state. But stuck in inaction applies to all things. We spoke yesterday about how people don't want to pay the price to actually get everything that they want. They want to talk about how they're willing to pay the price, how they're willing to do anything, how they're willing to sacrifice everything until the bill comes and they're actually asked to do what is necessary. And then all of a sudden they run away and hide. But inaction applies to all of those things. If you know that you need to get into great shape, the stress, the anxiety, the fear, the sadness, I'm hesitant to use the word depression, but that's what people are describing, and it's not actual depression. But all of that is linked around not taking the action. So stop putting it off. Stop delaying it. Just fucking begin. Just get in and start the process. That's how you make a change. That's how you progress forward. That's how something shifts inside you. That you stop putting it off till tomorrow, until the stars are right, until, the moon is in retrograde, or whatever the fuck the reason is, and you just take action. You just step forward and do what is necessary. You just step up and go. You'll find once you're in motion, once you actually start, once you begin the process, well, a lot of that all fades away. All those stresses, all those stories, all the things in your head that could possibly go wrong, well, they're just stories in your head. A man has failed 1,000 times in his head before he ever steps foot in the stadium. More failures and inability to achieve the things we want out of life have come from the stories that you have told, from the stories in your head, than have ever actually come from stepping into the arena and doing what is necessary. Most of the time people don't succeed, not because they're not capable, not because they don't have what is necessary, but because they aren't willing to start. Yeah, it probably won't go perfectly smoothly. Yeah, there'll be setbacks. Yeah, there'll be problems. But you have to actually start. You have to actually enter the arena. You have to actually get the fuck out of your own way. I said I wasn't going to swear on this. I'm going to keep working on it. You have to get out of your own way and actually do it. Get into action. Start the process. As I said, you'll find that nearly all of the stories in your head about what could go wrong, what might happen, what needs to be done, all these kinds of things will fade away. And you'll realize that you should have just started. And you could have achieved so much more by starting earlier. But it comes back to that old saying. When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the next best time to plant a tree? Today. Most of the problems in your life come from you not just beginning. Come from you not just stepping up, stepping into action, and doing what is required. That is where the majority of your issues come from. And if you took that first leap of faith in anything, whether it be business, whether it be fitness, whether it be relationships, whether it be life in general, whatever the thing that you find yourself just stressing over, creating anxiety, creating depression, all this kind of stuff, just step in and do the work. The days I struggle with the most, the days I find the hardest, are the days when I know I could have done more work and I chose not to. That I avoided doing the things that were necessary. They're the worst days. They're the days that suck. But also are 100% within my control. Those choices are down to me. Those opportunities are down to me. I have the capacity to change that. I have the capacity to do better. All of that is on me. The question is whether I'm willing to do the work. Whether I'm willing to step forward and make the choices. And you're the same. There are so many of us who are stuck in these parts of our life where it's like, well, I hate my life. I hate where I'm at. I'm hating, the body, the man in the mirror. I'm hating my business. I'm hating my relationships. Whatever it might be. Well, I'm here to inform you that it's all your fault. All of those things, all the things you hate about your life are your fault. But that is also the greatest news under the sun, because it also means that it's all within your control. The worst place to be is stuck because you can't control it. Stuck because of something beyond your capacity. But when you recognize that everything in your life is a reaction to your thoughts, habits, and actions, you realize that all of this is your fault. And all of it is within your control to do something about it. All of it's within your control to make a change, to do something different. If, and only if, you are willing to do that. Your reality is based on your choices. It's a reaction to the things that you choose to do. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Don't like how it's going? Make a different choice. Respond differently. Choose different pathways. You have the capacity. You have the opportunity. You have everything you need. if you're willing to step forward. You can have anything you want. You can do anything you want if you're willing to pay the price for it. If you're willing to step forward and do what is necessary. The problem is that most people aren't willing. They want to stay stuck. They want to stay paralyzed. They want to stay caught in this analysis paralysis. But if you just stepped up, if you just pushed forward, if you just got into action, changed your state, and began, you'd find it wasn't that hard. It's not that hard. That it's like the 5-minute rule. You're putting off something that you don't want to do. If you sit down and start, and you just promise yourself that you'll do 5 minutes, pretty soon you've banged out an hour or 2 or 3. Because you realized once you actually removed the bullshit stories in your head that it wasn't that big a deal, that it wasn't actually that bad. So the question becomes, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to set aside everything and just step forward into it? To break free of inaction and step into the actions that you need to take? Because I promise you, everything in your life will get better from taking that first action.